Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. We open with the cyborg Farnsworth 2 applying his armor, but he forgets the textures. His mission is to travel back in time inside a Rubik's Cube and hunt down a genetically enhanced super soldier hiding in Africa. It shouldn't be too hard since Alex wakes up in the middle of the desert with a bullet in the back of her head and total amnesia. She has 10 minutes of flashbacks fighting tribesmen and the cyborg assassin Nebula before getting her tiny muscle-bound frame to its feet. Following her own footprints, she makes her way through the desert collecting discarded guns as she has quite the high carrying capacity. She eventually comes across a jeep and encounters Farnsworth 2, who appears shirtless from behind but wearing his armor from the front. Alex has this man at triple gunpoint but decides to hand over all of them so that now she's the stranger's prisoner, because why not? Farnsworth seems just as confused as anybody, so scans the weapons with his tacky eyeball laser things to discover they're all empty. His suit sometimes just randomly flickers, and I'm not sure if Alex can see any of this, but she just says Africa attracts some weird people. By that she means a 50-something-year-old cyborg from the year 2070 that tongue tasers the blood from her head to find out what happened. He says that Alex shot herself but did a piss-poor job of it, then whips out an injection which he says will return her memories. She starts to have flashbacks again, so Farnsworth begins scanning her to steal the genetic code for super soldiers before he's allowed to kill her. At one point he says, "We need to get these clothes off you to complete the scan," but Alex is like, "No, get away from me, you're creep." A bit later Alex finds Farnsworth dressed like a universal soldier playing with himself, so he just walks her back to the jeep at gunpoint. He says, "You just stay here and have your flashback seizures while I continue to scan your DNA for the key to having bigger muscles." Alex remembers that she has a sister named Rane who was also created in a lab and traveled back in time to retrieve her. She says they have 20 other genetically enhanced sisters just waiting in the future for them, all wearing the same identifying necklaces. Alex is the only one who's fertile and able to continue this new breed of superhumans, which is why the cyborgs find her a threat. Rane says the future of the human race depends on Alex bumping wasteland uglies and not to trust Farnsworth or anyone else with a number in their name. She wakes up with him standing over her trying to extract some of that sweet super soldier DNA, so Alex sticks a pair of scissors in his face. She should have said cut it out, but instead picks up his rifle and destroys the main villain of the movie before it's really even started. Alex then flashbacks for the final time to explain how she got here, where her sister is, and why the big bad died so easily. 22 hours ago Rane said they can't return to 2070 until a window opens in 24 hours, which is 2 hours from the present. That means the entire plot of this movie is Alex loitering in Africa until she's shot in the back of the head with one day younger Farnsworth chasing her. Rane lets herself be captured to buy the fertile sister time and kept under a glowy light at what we're told is an abandoned power plant. It's soon obvious why Farnsworth was so easy to kill, as his own goons push him around in the form of 2 bodybuilding women. Locke and Ditko look more like Alex's siblings than her real ones, but there's no explanation for the haze that appears around them half the time. Farnsworth tells them to get out there and find Alex, then kills a cyborg named Bob because he isn't a big buff blonde woman. He then threatens Michael to find some bleach and a bench press real quick, but it appears the boss needs a mint more than anything. Farnsworth also has 2 human slaves from the future retrieving whatever genetic material Alex left behind on their failed assassin. One is a muscular blonde, of course, but he doesn't know that Xena is Alex's sister because she hides her ginormous muscles beneath a coat. Meanwhile, the fertile one fights her way through Africa, which is in the middle of a civil war, but some of the rebels have glowing eyes. She's basically having a battle royale in a bot lobby until coming across a real player named Edson who is camping in one of the buildings. He pops out to ninja loot the bodies before Alex even gets a chance, so she quickly realizes this isn't the man to fertilize her super eggs. Not for lack of trying on Edson's depraved part, but Alex just knocks him out because this skinny merc couldn't handle her on date night. She then comes across a 7-foot muscle-bound hunk literally ripping out of his shirt, but there's one problem. For starters, that shirt stays the exact same through the whole movie, but also Johnny suffers brain damage and gets pushed around by some mercs. One comments about how Alex is really put together, so she caves his chest in when the commander tells them to get back to work. The commonly named Brick Bardo says that Johnny went simple Jack after sustaining a head injury during a rescue mission.
Howdy.
They go to leave, but Alex asks to join them by saying it's dangerous out here all alone for a girl, and somehow that crap works. Supposedly she teams up with them, but the very next scene she's getting pistol whipped by the other mercenaries and jumped. Johnny comes to the rescue, so is beaten up as well, but when Brick enters they shoot him dead. Alex goes on to beat them all up in response, then loots their bodies, but is now stuck a single mother with the 7-foot child. Speaking of disabled, the fembots drive around in a dune buggy with a warp effect designed to hurt their enemies' eyes, or maybe just the viewers. They wear red outfits to disguise themselves as the native rebels and come across Edson, but he recognizes them right away as not being local. He knows they must be looking for the only other girl benching 300 pounds, so promises to show them the way. They could probably just follow the trail of destruction, considering their target takes a truck and crashes through all of the cyborg roadblocks. For whatever reason, the fembots make Edson walk after her while they trail behind in their dune buggy and occasionally get out on foot after he's already moved on. This guy must have a teleporter, because Alex finds Edson showering in an abandoned building like, oh what a coincidence seeing you here. He says he was a part of the group who abandoned Johnny after he got brain broken, so feels guilty and suddenly becomes the most helpful person in the movie. Edson says that Farnsworth is holding Rane hostage at the power plant and gives her a bunch of guns, but I don't know how he knows any of this. We'll chalk it up to loose lips on the big chicks, and Edson promises to look after Johnny at least until he abandons him again. They're immediately captured by Locke and Ditko, but these two just talk nonsense everywhere they go and cackle. It gives Alex time to return and shoot both women, but instead of finishing them off, the three walk away and allow them to get up. They walk really slowly towards Alex shooting, so she throws a grenade about 5 feet in front of her at targets 40 feet away. This poor attempt from the superhuman savior of mankind gets her shot in the back, but the girls stop to cackle again. Even with his handicap, Johnny is able to shoot them both, and the three escape with Ed carrying Alex because she weighs like $110. Next time we see her, she's fully recovered and wearing a thong, while Edson continues trying to get into her fertile pants. She says not if her species depended on it, which it may very well, because Johnny speaks like he doesn't even know where to stick it.
He seemed to know what to do.
He says lines like brain broken, heart strong, so the two kiss before he pulls away for probably multiple reasons. The first being that the fembots have arrived and they knock out Edson before deploying a drone thingy. It chases Alex and latches onto her arm, but is easily removed and thrown away before the thing can explode. Johnny gets knocked out by the blast and along with Edson gets captured by the cyborgs, who just assume Alex is dead because big boom. They bring them back to their hideout, where the pair are kept alive for no reason, while Farnsworth reminds the girls of their mission. He wanted Alex's DNA, not for her to be blown to smithereens, so sends them back out to retrieve an arm or maybe a leg. They reach her location just as she's waking up from the explosion to see their headache-inducing vehicles roll into town. Michael also shows up with intrusive eyeball glow, but Alex just smacks him in the face, brings him inside, then kills him instead of doing it in the street for some reason. The fembots get the drop on Alex, but once again they need to turn to look at each other and laugh, allowing her to disarm them both. She then wrestles with one in what could have been a good display of physicality, but it's hard to tell what's even going on. Locke goes flying out a window and Alex backflips off her body like a springboard, then steals the dune buggy and drives away. The cyborg just gets back up and takes Michael's buggy, leaving behind Ditko to begin a migraine-inducing chase scene that's worth completely skipping. Meanwhile, the cyborg slaves accidentally reactivate Nebula, who steals some DNA from Xena despite it looking like it's putting something in her womb. It shapeshifts into Alex's sister and presumably kills the real one, then confronts Farnsworth to say it's claiming the bounty on Alex's head for itself. This thing even shifts back into its true self to show it's the Nebula, then shoots Farnsworth despite both working for the same side. As Xena, she then wakes up Rane to try gain her trust, but the fembots arrive because I guess Locke overtook Alex, then went back for Ditko. They never do anything and just say we'll all wait until Alex arrives, but she crashes through the front doors and shoots both cyborgs. During this, the Nebula knocked out Rane because she recognized the necklace as being a fake, because I guess Nebby never took the real one. Alex couldn't pick a fake from her glutes, so she allows Xena to join them while Johnny carries Rane and they all escape on a buggy. They don't make it far, however, because Farnsworth recovers and applies his low-resolution armor to deploy a drone that chases after them. It destroys the buggy, sending Alex flying through the air, and this is when she wakes up, having remembered everything she can. She still doesn't know what happened to the others after the crash, nor how the bullet got in the back of her head. Farnsworth might know the truth, but she just shot him to hell, so Alex must time travel to the future for answers. However, the sequel to this is completely unrelated apart from muscle women crushing skulls like watermelons. And the movie ends.